Keith, do you want to kick us off?
Sean, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. Are you?
Yeah, nice to see you. You were arguably man of the match over in Milan away. Crucial goal against PSG in the last game. Borussia Dortmund up next. How do you top that?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, like I said, it's a competition I've watched since I was a little kid, and to finally be playing in it, I think it's just something that I'm trying to take in my stride. Obviously, got trips next to us who I speak to a lot about it, and seems to help us through most games, to be fair. So yeah, like I said, I'm surrounded by a lot of good players who make the game a lot easier.
You're scoring a lot of goals at the moment. I think 3 in your last 5 matches. Is the confidence coursing through your veins right now? Is when the goal opens up, if you like?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think it's one of them where I try and get in attacking positions, and something I've sort of spoke about with the staff in terms of trying to get in the box a little bit more, and sort of luckily at the minute the ball's sort of falling my way and being able to put it in the net. But yeah, something I'm still working on, and yeah, just trying to, like I said, get in the box as much as possible and see what happens.
And it's not just any European games you're playing high level opponents here. Just give us a little flavour, if you can, as to the sort of the talk amongst you guys as players behind the scenes when you're playing the likes of Milan, PSG, scoring 4 against them, and then Borussia Dortmund with the colour and everything that will come with that match.
I think it's probably a bit more boring than you would think. I think we're quite sort of a mellow group, quite a group that just, we tend to chat about life more than football, to be honest, and I think that probably helps in terms of keeps us so close on the pitch, I would say, and yeah, probably puts less pressure on when coming into the games. I think if you're talking about it all the time, it might not be a good thing, but yeah, like I said, we're a quietly confident group, but we know we've got a lot of good players within the group, and yeah, we're not really scared to play against anyone, especially with the manager and the plans he puts in place. So I think it's another good game tomorrow night, one we're really looking forward to, and yeah, hopefully we can go and attack it like we did the last game.
Damien?
Sean, you're playing for the club you supported as a boy, you've played in the Cup final, you're playing in the Champions League. Do you have to constantly pinch yourself?
Yeah, considering probably where me and a lot of the lads were 2.5 years ago, I think even sitting in this position doing a press conference for a Champions League game seemed sort of nearly impossible, I would say. So I think now we're just sort of trying to enjoy the momentum and enjoy the good times, I would say. I think it's been a long time coming, and probably something that we didn't think would happen. So for us to be in this position now is a real privilege, and to get to experience sort of great nights in massive competitions is what every player wants, and yeah, like I said, one we're really grateful to be a part of.
Greg?
Are you aware, Sean, of all the talk around you with regards to England at the moment?
I've not spoke to my dad about it or my brother, so no, probably not. So if it doesn't come from them, then I tend not to say a lot of it, which is probably a good thing for me.
Well, there is a lot of talk, I'll tell you. What do you think of that? Is that an ambition? Do you think you're there, you're good enough?
To be fair, I look at that England group and sort of see top level players who've been at the top level for a long time, and like I said, I get to work next to Trips a lot, and sort of for me he's the pinnacle of our team. He's an international player who's played a lot of games, and yeah, like I said, it's not really something I look at. It's not really something I think about. There's a lot of good players in my position, and yeah, like I said, it's mostly just focusing on Newcastle and trying to play as well as I can here. It's been a long road to try and get in the position I'm in terms of trying to play as much as I can for Newcastle. So I think for my focus to sort of go anywhere else would be sort of not right, I would say. And like I said, all I want to do is play well for Newcastle, and whatever else happen will happen.
Lee, then Kieran?
Sean, your uncle Alan Thompson scored in the Champions League against Barcelona. Have you got any memories of that as a kid, or have you spoke to him about it, asked him for any tips? I know you've already got 1 goal in the Champions League, but a few memories on that.
Yeah, it's funny. I still remember going around his house and he's got Ronaldinho's top up, and yeah, probably never in a million years did I think I'd be playing the same competition, and it's yeah, it's really special. To be honest, I hadn't thought about that a lot before, and it's yeah, it's a really nice memory actually, because like I said, I remember going around his house and seeing the tops and seeing the top level players that he played against, and yeah, seeing the goal lots and lots of times, and yeah, it's probably something I hadn't really thought about, but probably should have.
And just obviously you spoke about the journey before the takeover and now after it. How good is it that there's so many familiar faces around still from before the takeover?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I think it shows that there was still a lot of quality here before the takeover. I think we've been lucky to be able to find a manager who's sort of fitted our style, I would say, and he sort of, in a way, taken the leash off and made her a little bit more attacking and a little bit more front foot. And yeah, I think we're just trying to repay him now. I think obviously in the Paris game, for I think what was it, three of the goal scorers to be here before the takeover was a massive thing. And yeah, like I said, we're in a position now where we're sort of enjoying the good times, and because it was tough in the past, but we're sort of past that now, and yeah, everyone's looking upwards, and yeah, really excited for what's to come.
Kieran and then Simon.
Hi Sean, it's been a tough time for Sandro Tonali. Can I just ask you, as a dressing room, how you've supported him, and how is he since Saturday? Obviously it was an emotional afternoon for him.
Yeah, I think the way the fans took to him on Saturday was amazing, but I think everyone knew that would be the case. I think for Sandro, the way he's fitted in our group has been amazing. I think he's a top player first and foremost, but he's actually a better guy. I think there's sort of stuff going around, and people sort of, was he happy about being here and all that sort of stuff, which was sort of weird from within the group, because we sort of see him every day and how happy he is, and he's sort of laughing and joking with everyone, and yeah, we're just lucky that we signed a top player, and actually someone in my position, someone I used to watch a lot actually, and me and my brother used to speak about how good he was, and then suddenly you walk through the door at Newcastle and you think, oh, don't know if that's a good thing for me or not. But now, like I said, actually really get on well with them, and I think that's the same for the whole group, and he's just been a massive positive to our group, and yeah, like I said, we've sort of created a friendship, and yeah, just sort of a privilege to be around him every day and watch what he does and watch how he works, and yeah, you understand why he's so good.
Simon.
Hi Sean. You mentioned a couple of weeks ago that you'd done a bit of research with Mark Gillespie looking at YouTube about former great matches like the Feyenoord one. Have you been on YouTube just to check out what was happening 20 years ago and how you can emulate that?
I haven't actually. I think it was yeah, it was a DVD, wasn't it? That we used to. Well, I remember having as a kid. I think it was 2002, 2003. I think it was called Flying High, wasn't it? And I remember watching that a lot. And yeah, like I said, there was some massive European nights on there, and sort of to now be doing the same thing however many years later is so special. And yeah, like I said, the club deserves to be in this position. The fans deserve to have nights like they had against Paris, and it's up to us now to create another special night tomorrow.
So that video was an inspiration to you, and maybe you can make another one for this season if you do well.
Something like that. Yeah, it'd be good. It would be nice. I think as a group we're confident that we can achieve good things, and yeah, like I said, we've put ourselves in a strong position in the group now, and it's about sort of kicking on from the previous games, and yeah, seeing where that takes us.
Mine.
Hi, you've said you sit beside Kieran Trippier in training, I assume. Is there one or two bits of advice that he's given you since he had arrived, and would you have developed as well without him here?
To be fair, a lot of it's probably a lot more simple than you think. I think something as little as him saying that, sort of get in the box more, you're good enough to score goals. I think coming from him, he probably doesn't realise it, but it's a massive thing for me. When you look at what he's achieved in his career, and to whether he believes it or not, for him to sort of say those things, and that he believes I'm good enough to go and sort of play at top levels and have impacts on games is massive for my confidence. And yeah, like I said, we speak a lot during the games. He sort of coaches you through the games. He's a bit like the manager on the pitch. Yeah, he's a top player, he's a top person, and I don't think I probably would have developed as quickly without him sort of right next to us. He makes the game really easy, and yeah, a real pleasure to be around every day.
And was the PSG atmosphere the best you've played in? And how do you recreate that intensity against Borussia Dortmund?
I think any game we go into, we know we know our strengths, and we know we have to be good off the ball, and to get the crowd in the game we have to get after teams, and they're a really good side. We're obviously seeing clips on them, and obviously their two centre halves are really good on the ball, so it'll be difficult. So we've got to find a way to get after them and make it as difficult as we can. But we know that if we can nick a ball, make a tackle, the crowd's looking for anything to jump on, and it's about giving them something to, like I said, cheer for, and if they can sort of carry us home like they did against Paris, it'll be another good night.
Well, Dom and then Jacob.
Hi Sean, just as a player and as a fan, can it get any better than last time out here against PSG?
Yeah, look, it's up to us to go and create another night like the Paris night, and I think if we win the game, it'll be just as good a night. Like I said, it's going to be tough. They're a top side with some really, really good players in it. And yeah, a club that I think a lot of players admire. I think their fan base is sort of, I feel though it's similar to ours. We're two sort of similar clubs, and yeah, it'll be a great night. Like I said, two great sets of fans, a great atmosphere, and a night that all players want to be a part of. So for us, it's about trying to get after them, sort of trying to implement our strengths on the game, and see what happens.
And a really daft one, but I just wanted to give you the chance to address the rumours doing the rounds on social media about you going travelling.
I know the gaffer wouldn't give us a month off, so I was a bit gutted. Like, yeah, I don't really know what to say to it, to be honest. I think on one hand, I think it's a bit scary that sort of one person can write something that's not true, and then the amount of people that think it is true is nuts. Obviously my pals were telling us about it a bit, so I got a bit of a chuckle out of it, but yeah, it's probably not a good thing that someone can start a rumour and then a week later everyone thinks it's true, so yeah, I'm not sure what to say, to be honest.
Jacob.
Hey Sean, just going back to trying to get into the box more, like you mentioned at the start, you scored from like an underlapping run against PSG, I think a similar one against Southampton last season, and made that movement loads against Palace at the weekend. So I was wondering if you could just explain a bit more kind of how you think that part of your game's developed, and kind of how the coaching staff are helping you with those off-ball runs.
Yeah, I think it's sort of a massive part of the game now, I would say. I think if you watch, I think De Bruyne at City, a lot of his good work is sort of done from that run or from that movement. So I actually try to watch him a lot and see how he gets in there. And then with the coaches, they keep it quite simple. It's more about timing and probably not being too eager to get in there. I think in the past I've tried to make the run, but if you get in there so early, then you're not going to really gain anything from it. So it's about picking the right time and probably being a little bit more patient, I would say, as a team on the ball, and maybe looking for that option a little bit more, and instead of, if it's not on, going the other side straight away and stuff. And but it's all learning. Like I said, it's sort of transitioning from sort of front foot team in terms of winning the ball back, but we also want to control the game with the ball, and yeah, I think we've sort of doing some good early work with that, but we know we can improve. But yeah, like I said, there's lots of patterns and stuff that's really exciting for me to be a part of, and yeah, really enjoying it.
Cheers.
To Jordan and then Aaron on the front, please.
Hi Sean, a simple one really, but do you feel you're playing the best football of your career currently?
Yeah, look, I think it's no secret that it's definitely the most enjoyable period I've had in my career. I think it's probably up to the manager whether he thinks I'm playing well or not. But like I said, I'm in a team that I love being a part of. I love coming in and playing with this group of players every day. The fact that I can sort of wake up and be excited about coming in is something that I'm really grateful for, because obviously that wasn't always the case. And yeah, like I said, I'm loving every second of it. I'm just trying to enjoy it as much as I can, play for a smile on my face, and yeah, like I said, just trying to enjoy it more than anything. And a lot of the time, if you're enjoying it, you end up playing a lot better. So yeah, I think that's for other people to judge, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
It's a similar question, to be honest, Sean, but at the start of the season, Newcastle were obviously in a bit of a tricky situation. You come back into the team, they're now 7 consecutive games unbeaten. Do you feel now like you're probably playing the most important part in this team that you have done since you've been in the first team?
I think it's a hard question to answer. Obviously, we played against some top teams at the start of the season, so think it was always going to be a difficult start. I don't actually think we played particularly badly, maybe once at Brighton where we didn't hit the levels that we know we can do. But for me, it was just about watching from the side and seeing or knowing when I did get a chance, it was about trying to take that opportunity. I think, like I said, to be part of the group is really special, and it's such a strong squad that there's going to be competition, and you know you're not going to play every single game. So for me, it was just about watching and hopefully getting a chance. And like I said, got a bit lucky that you get a few good results when you come in the team, and probably people think you're better than you are, which is obviously good for me. But yeah, like I said, I think the whole team's playing well at the minute, and there's a lot of other players who are playing probably better than me at the minute who are keys to that.
I've got Mark and then the gentleman at the back to wrap us up, please.
You mentioned about seeing Ronaldinho's shirt with your uncle. Is it right that you got Mbappe's shirt and gave it to Kieran Trippier to give to his son last time?
No, it's definitely not true. I wasn't giving it away if I got it. No, he sort of beat us to it. I think I knew after the last game that there's quite a lot of interviews and stuff to do after the game, so I knew that someone else was going to nick it in that time, so I was a little bit gutted, but like I said, it was probably more important that night that I kept my top, and it was a culmination of a lot of years of hard work to get into that position, so looking back, it was probably a good thing that I kept mine.
So you kept yours as a kind of keepsake, was it?
Aye.
Yeah.
Oscar behind you, if that's right, Mark, please.
Just on Sandro, are you confident as a midfielder, as a team, that you will cope with any absence that does come?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we don't know what the outcome of the stuff with Sandro is yet, and like I said, we've got Joe Willock coming back, Joe Linton's back fit, and obviously Elliot's stepped up massively. Obviously, we've got the little superstar Lewis Miley as well coming through, who I absolutely love, and hopefully he can maybe get a few more minutes as well. But I think the big one coming back is Joe Willock. I could sit here all day and sort of tell you how good he is, and even watching him in training this week, he looks like he's not missed a minute. So yeah, if anything, I'm just really excited to have Willie back. We know how important he is for us. I think the team plays its best when Willie plays, and he's able to sort of drift, and no one can do what he does on our team in terms of the way he moves with the ball and how confident he is with it. And like I said, more than anything, just really excited to have him back, and so hopefully he can show what he can do on the stage as well.
And last question at the back, please.
Hi, Sean. You said earlier on that go back 2 years, you didn't think you'd be sat here doing something like this. How are you and the group adjusting to those higher expectations of you now?
I think we'll probably just try and, like I said, not listen to a lot of the stuff from the outside. So I think as a group we have our expectations and standards that we have to hit. The manager sets them high, and ultimately if he's happy with where we're at, then I think as a group we're happy. It sounds a bit horrible, but sort of the stuff from the outside doesn't really bother us. Probably don't take much notice of it. But yeah, like I said, the manager sets such high expectations every day, whether that's a passing drill and sort of it's not at the right tempo, then he's on with straight away. And we've got really high expectations as a group. I said before, we're a really quietly confident group. We look around the change room and there's only better and better players coming in the door, and that's only going to make for a better team and a better sort of squad. And like I said, we know what we can achieve, but we also know that it starts with hard work, and we're not getting carried away with anything we've done so far.